If you have a med spa and you're struggling, especially when it comes to your PPC or Google ads, then I've got your solution. And small hint, it probably has something to do with your landing page. So who am I? My name is Daniel Gao. I've been working with medical spas for the last 7 years, particularly helping them to grow their practice using online channels. Now, Google PPC is one of the greatest channels that you can use to bring more patients, to bring more clients into your business. Now, the reason that I really like Google Ads is because the search intention is very high. So what do I mean by search intention? It's, let's say that you're looking to purchase something, whether it's a product or whether it's a service, and you don't know who to go to. What are you probably going to do? You're probably going to go to Google. Now, the reason you're going to Google is because you have a problem. You are looking for a solution, and you're going to Google to find a solution to that problem. So when you do your search, then you have a very high intention, either to purchase or to get information. Now, I'm comparing this to meta ads. And meta ads, the buying intention is not as high. And I'll explain in another video the importance of meta ads and how you can make that work for you. But specifically when it comes to Google, I really like it because the type of people that you're going to attract is people that are more willing to buy because they are already in that mindset. They're looking for information, they're looking for a solution, and so they're further along that buying journey than most other people. So that's why I really like that platform. Now, competition has been going up quite dramatically. I'm sure that you even noticed in your area that there's a lot of med spas popping up. In some cities, there's med spas in every single corner that's popping up. So you need to stay ahead of this. But the competition is not easy because not only are you having to deal with the physical competition, people actually popping up with their own med spas in your area, but also when it comes to online and Google ads as well, there's more competition. Now, I do need to preface this because there is a difference between competition physically in real life and competition when it comes to online, particularly Google ads. Now, sometimes they're going to be connected exactly, but not in all cases. So let me break that down. It's in your physical location. If there are a lot of competitors opening up shop, then you have a very high competition rate in your local area. Now, when it comes to Google ads, that is really much going to be dependent on how many people are running ads on Google. So even though you may have a lot of physical competition in your local area, if none of them are running Google ads and you're the only one doing it, then your competition from an online perspective is actually low. So that's why I'm saying it's not always connected. You may have hundreds and hundreds of competitors physically, but if no one's marketing on Google, then there's no competition there. Now, the flip side could also be true. There may not be as many physical competitors around you, but if all of them are running Google ads, then that could lead to a very high competition rate when it comes to you actually running your own Google ads. So just be aware of this because I'm going to be talking about this throughout this video as far as how this is going to affect your cost, how this is going to affect your campaigns. Now, let me break down a couple of the most common mistakes I see when it comes to PPC campaigns and very often why they fail. So number one mistake that I see many businesses make, and this is when you are setting up your Google ads and you are sending that traffic to your website, not to a landing page. Now, think of a landing page as a single page website where the sole conversion of that is to convert that person into a lead. Now, I get it. If you don't know how to run Google ads, you are focusing on helping your clients, helping your patients, you're growing your practice, you're dealing with your employees. There's a lot that's on your plate. And if you are not a marketer, then you may not understand a lot of how this online marketing stuff works. So again, I get it. It's easy. Set up an ad, send it to your website. It's simple, but very often that is not the best way to do things. The reason why is because your website is very often not built for conversion. It is built to give information. And if you're giving information, I'm not saying giving information is a bad thing, but the website's primary goal is to give information. The secondary goal is to get someone to take an action, such as calling you or submitting their information on your website. Now, when it comes to a landing page though, the sole purpose of a landing page is to get someone to take an action. Secondarily, it's to give them information. And when it comes to marketing, the purpose is to get conversions. We want to get people who are raising their hands saying, yes, I'm interested in what you have to offer. I'm interested in your service. Tell me more, or I want to talk with somebody. That is why you want to send someone to a landing page. Again, I mentioned it comes down to conversion rate. So how many people are coming to the landing page? How many people are converting into a lead? So what do we count as a lead? A lead is someone who is calling you, or someone who has submitted their information to either get a special offer that you're giving or for more information. That is what we consider a lead. And your conversion rate, as I was mentioning about, this is going to affect your cost per lead. So when you're looking at marketing, particularly Google PPC, its cost per lead is a very good number to look at. If you want to look at it from a high level without getting into the weeds, it's what is your cost per lead? Because your cost per lead is really going to give you an idea of, is your campaign going to work or not? Now, if you are promoting high ticket services, let's say $1,000, $2,000, and your cost per lead is $2,000, that's a very, very high cost per lead. So we already know there's an issue happening with the campaign. Now, if your cost per lead is $5 or $10, that's extremely low. So now at this point, we need to figure out, okay, how is the quality of the lead? But at least we know that from a high level, if you're getting $5, $10 lead cost per lead for high ticket services, you're already in the right place. So now it's just a matter of, okay, what does the quality look like? So that just gives us a very easy indicator of, is the campaign generally working or not working from looking at just one number. Next thing you want to look at is, so what goes into this landing page? There's a couple things. Now, you could just make it simple. You can basically copy your website homepage and make that your landing page as a start. Again, I don't recommend this because, as I mentioned before, websites are not built for conversions. They are built to give information. But if you don't know where to start, you can start there. Now, I'm actually going to share my screen here and I want to show you. Okay, so this is an example of a landing page. Now, the thing that we see above this very top section here, this is called above the fold. So basically it means that this is the very first thing people are seeing. It's the very first thing because before I even start scrolling, this is everything that is being shown to me. Now, this is just an example. Now, what goes in here? Everything in this section above the fold, it's prime real estate. So what you want to do is you want to come up with a compelling headline. Again, this is just an example, so we don't use this one. We would put a compelling headline in here. We would have a sub-headline, and then we would have an offer. Now, you can, we've tested different things. It's really going to depend on what offer that you are giving, is that you can also put your phone number at the top, because especially when you look at mobile, it's the very first things you're probably going to see is a reduced version of this. And you want to make sure that your landing page is also mobile friendly. So when you are doing this, you want to have your headline, which is going to capture their attention. You want to have your sub headline, which is really going to really support the main headline. And then you want to have your offer and then your contact information. So in this case, we have a claim my voucher. So basically people can click that and then they're able to submit their information and get this voucher. Again, as I mentioned before, having the phone number at the top as well can also be helpful. Again, depends on what you're promoting, how you're promoting it. But it's definitely something I would recommend testing. Now, having this form in here, I would always have both options, form and call. Now, in this example, we do have the phone number at the bottom, but you want to have your multiple call to actions throughout this page. What's a call to action? Claim my voucher. And I'll just quickly scroll through here so you can see claim my voucher. Claim my voucher, claim my voucher, learn more, and then phone number. So you want to have multiple call to actions throughout here, again, because this page is focused on getting more conversions. Now, you don't want to have generic language in here. You want to have compelling language. That's why I mentioned that the headline is going to be your most important content piece when it comes to this landing page. The rest of it is to support it from different angles, from different viewpoints. So main headline, again, take that action. Then what is this? What does this service offer? And you want to give a bullet point, and you want to make it simple to understand. You don't need to get too much into the weeds on the specifics, but you want to keep it simple. This is what this thing is going to do for you. This is why it's better for you. Particularly if you're promoting a service that is a newer service or one that is better than the most common ones out there, then this in particular is going to be very helpful. Now, if you notice here, and this, again, as I mentioned, this is just a sample, but even when it comes to the landing pages that we create for our clients, you notice there's no logo in here. There's no company logo. Now, the reason that we do not put in a company logo is because when people are doing a search, especially when it comes to Google Ads, they're not looking at it from a brand perspective. Now, if you have a very big brand and you are running Google Ads to promote your brand, that's a different story. But for the vast majority of you, when you are running Google Ads, it's going to be to people who have no idea who you are. So putting your logo in here really isn't going to do too much. If you want to put it in there because you are dead set on showing your brand, okay, fine, I'm not going to stop you. But the main thing is, don't make your logo this big massive thing because you want to brand your page. People don't know, they don't care, and when they, especially when they start looking on mobile, that logo is going to take up a lot of that prime real estate. And I'll tell you right now, people at this stage, they're not going to care about your brand. They're going to care about what is the offer, can this company solve my issue, or do I feel comfortable with them? And it's not your brand. They're going to make that decision when they call you or when they see your offer. Because I can guarantee you, is that when people call you and you ask them, hey, did you see our logo? Do you know what our business name is? If they're not looking at it, most of them are not going to remember your brand name. They're not going to remember your practice name. They're going to know that, hey, I'm looking for this. I saw your voucher. I saw your information. I saw your offer. I want to know more. So if you're going to have a logo, don't make it big. And in most cases, I won't even recommend having a logo, particularly when you're running Google Ads. Now, the other thing that you want to have in here, I mentioned that all this content is supporting the above one. So you want to start putting in social proof. Social proof is a very big piece of this. So before and afters is social proof. So you want to put your before and after sprinkled throughout this page. Now, again, you can mention how does this work? Step 1, steps 2, step 3. Again, supporting how this can help them, how it goes. So if people really don't know much about how this procedure works, you can have some information here, again, to support that. Again, putting some more information here to support what this does, what the benefits that they are getting. Testimonials, so we have testimonials that we put throughout here. We also, when we do have a client that we're running this for, we will also actually put in a widget that will pull in all of their online reviews and have it like as a scrolling bar across. So social proof is a very big piece of this, and the more you can sprinkle out testimonials, whether it's written, whether it's pulled in directly from your Google business profile, which is actually really good because people see that as authoritative and not fake, because people see this and they may think, oh, this person just made it up. But if you're pulling in your reviews from your Google business profile, they say, oh, okay, this is legitimate. This is actually from Google, so it's real. Or if you have any type of testimonial videos, those are always good as well. Again, social proof, social proof, social proof. People want to feel comfortable that you are legitimate, that other people have gone before you, and that you've gotten a lot of people a lot of good results. So, and then again, as we go down here, more information, kind of like what is the top things people are thinking in their mindset? If they come to a page like this, they're wondering, number 1, can this service, can this procedure actually work for me? Number 2, how does it work? Number 3, do I feel like this business is credible? So all of these components in here is to support that, either answering questions that are in their head, or it's building up the authority, which again could be considered a question that is in their mind. It's, is this working for me? Do I feel like this person can really help me? It's reducing that risk. And of course, you want to have your information here as well, your photo, your credentials, whether it's going to be you or maybe you have another practitioner who's actually doing the procedures for you. But whoever has the most credibility, you want to feature them here, even if they are not necessarily the one who's doing the actual procedure or treatment. But you want to lead with your best foot, and you want to put the person that has the most credibility, and you want to make it simple. You don't have to tell them which college you went to or all your degrees or all of your training. If you say that, hey, I've been doing this for 10 years, I've been doing this for 15 years, or I've done 5,000 of these treatments, or I've worked with 10,000 patients, whatever that is. Again, make it simple. This is not your resume that you put in here. This is going to be, again, your social proof. When people look at you, do they feel that you have done this and that they are not the first person that is under your care? So again, make it simple. And at the very bottom, you have your contact information, your address, and then your number. Now with this one, this is important, especially if you've never done any type of extensive online marketing before, is that you want to use a call tracking number. Now you can Google that. There's plenty of companies out there that provide call tracking numbers, but basically what it is that it is a phone number that you put up on a page like this. You can forward it to any other number. So you can forward it to your office number. But the purpose of having a call tracking number is that you know that anyone who calls this number came from a particular place. So in this case, people who call this number, we know that they came from Google Ads because this is the only place where people can find this number. It's from the Google Ads. So when we get calls coming in, we know, oh, this call came from Google Ads. Oh, this other call also came from Google Ads. So it helps us to track and make sure that we are tracking how many leads are coming from our campaign. Because yeah, people are going to fill out this form, but what of the people that just call? If we just put our office number in here, we don't know where they're coming from. Now, even if we ask them, where'd you come from? They're going to say Google. And if you ask them, okay, did it come from our ad? Did you find our website? Did you find our Google business profile? Like, they're not going to know. So we know for a fact that if someone calls this number, they came from Google Ads, because that's the only way they could have gotten this number. So make sure that you use the call tracking numbers as well. So I know I unpacked a lot in this first part, the landing page, but this is usually where we see a lot of the mistakes happening. Okay, so the second mistake that I see a lot of med spas make when it comes to Google ad campaigns is how they're choosing their keywords. Now, you really want to be focused when you are running your Google ad campaign. And when I say focused, is that you want to be focusing on what is that procedure, what is that treatment that you really want to go after. You don't want to do a shotgun approach in this case where you're saying that, oh, well, I offer Botox and filler and thread lifts and Emsculpt and Cool Sculpting, and I just want to blast everything out and just try and target all those different ones. Do not do that, because you are really going to get a hodgepodge of different people looking for different things, and then where are you sending them to? If you're sending them to your website, then they start getting lost. It's not geared for conversions, and you're just going to be bleeding out a lot of your budget because it's not targeted, it's not focused. And think about it. If you are looking for a treatment, if you're looking for Cool Sculpt and you're looking for someone to do Cool Sculpting, and you go into Google and you type in Cool Sculpting, and someone says that, oh yeah, you're looking for Cool Sculpting? Hey, I have Botox, I have filler, I have this, I have this. And you're like, this is not really relevant to what I'm looking for. Okay, you have these other things, but I'm looking for Cool Sculpting. I'm not looking for these other things. So imagine if you say, Google, I'm looking for Cool Sculpting. And Google says, hey, this person has Cool Sculpting, this person has Cool Sculpting, this person has Cool Sculpting. It's all about Cool Sculpting. That's very relevant search. It's going to capture people's interest much more, and there's a much higher chance that they're actually going to take a next step, a next action, because what they're seeing is related to what they're searching for. So that's why you want to be very focused on what you are running your ads for. So one treatment, one focus, one campaign. Now, I'm not saying that you can only do one at a time, but you want to have one campaign for every major focus. So what I mean by a major focus is that if you are doing injectables, for example, you can have one campaign, one landing page focused on injectables. If you want to focus on thread lifts, for example, then that could be one campaign, thread lifts, all the keywords, landing page about thread lifts. Let's say you want to do something about Cool Sculpting. Same concept. It's one campaign for Cool Sculpting, landing page all about Cool Sculpting, and so on and so forth. And you can run these multiple campaigns at the same time, but you don't want to have one campaign where you're putting all your keywords and all your treatments into. Because again, shotgun approach is not going to work very well. So you want to be very specific, one campaign, one focus. Now, I also noticed that a lot of med spas do not utilize the benefit of a negative keyword list. Now, if you've never heard of what a negative keyword list is, basically what it is that it is a list of keywords that you can submit to Google and tell Google, hey, I do not want my ad to show up if any of these keywords are included in the search terms. So what does this mean in real life? Basically, if someone puts in a specific word into their search, your ad will not show. So I'm going to use the example of thread lifts. Now, let's say you're offering thread lifts, you want to sell thread lifts. So if a potential negative keyword is training, so if someone puts in thread lift training, if they're putting in thread lift training, they're probably another practitioner. They're probably another med spa. So you don't want to show your ad to that person because they're not going to buy from you. So training is a negative keyword, because if they put training in for any keyword that's any other keyword, even for the ones that you want to show up for, it's not going to show your ad. So that's an example of a negative keyword. And as you start running your campaign, you can start to see, based on the data, what search terms people are typing in before they click over to your page. And so this gives you an idea of what are some of those negative keywords. Again, training is one of the most common ones that you can put in there just off the bat as a negative keyword. Now, that's mistake number 2. Really focus in on the keywords and really make sure that you're only going after one service at a time or per campaign. Now, the third one is the speed of follow-up. Now, this doesn't have to do necessarily with running the actual Google ad campaign, but it is very closely tied to the importance of the success of your PPC campaign. So what do I mean by this? Well, there was actually a study done by Harvard where they analyzed millions of leads that came in to businesses. And they looked at a couple things. They looked to see how quickly did it take for most salespeople to follow up, what was the response rate of the leads, and also how many of those leads actually turned into paying customers. And what this study found was that if you do not follow up with a lead within the first 5 minutes of that lead coming in, there was a 400% decrease in the chances that they were actually going to turn into a paying customer. Not only that, but they found that you had to follow up with the lead at least 6 times to have a very high chance of getting a hold of the lead. So what is this telling us? Basically what this is telling us is that not only do you have to follow up very quickly, but you have to follow up multiple times with these leads. I can guarantee you this, is that when it comes to PPC, the way that people are doing their searches, you really need to follow up very, very quickly. Even if you have some type of automation that sends them a text message if they try calling you and you can't pick up. But you have to try and get to them as quickly as possible, because this is how most people search on Google. Let's say I'm looking for for cool sculpting treatment. I go on Google and I start looking through the search results. I see, oh, okay, there's this. The first ad is actually giving a really good offer. Okay, great. Let me call this company. I call, no one picks up. I leave a voicemail. Okay, I don't know when this company's gonna get back to me. So let me go back to Google. Oh, I see the second ad. Oh, their offer is okay, but let me call them. Okay, call them. They don't pick up either. I leave a voicemail. I'm still looking for somebody though. So I go to the third option. Offer's okay. It's not the greatest, but it's not bad either. Call them. They pick up. They're really good on the phone. I'm like, okay, you know what? And they're offering a free consultation. You know what? Let me book that. I'm interested. Let me do it today. Let me do it tomorrow. I want to get this done. And then I'm done. Now that first business, that second business, maybe it takes them a day to get back to me. Maybe it takes them 2 days to get back to me. Maybe it takes them 3 hours to get back to me. But by the time they call me, they say, hey, I'm calling you back about that cool sculpting offer, that cool sculpting appointment you want to book. I've already got an appointment booked. And you know what? I don't want to have to just be driving all over the place trying to figure out. I just want to get this done. I want to find someone that I like. I already have an appointment booked with somebody. So I'm going to say, you know what? I'm no longer interested. So if you've ever had that happen to you, where you ran an ad, you ran a promotion, someone submitted the information, you called them back a couple hours later, and they said, I'm no longer interested, you're probably thinking, why are you no longer interested? I mean, you spent time, like you submitted your information. Why are you no longer interested? It's most likely because this scenario just happened. They reached out to somebody else, that person picked up, that person booked them in, and now they don't want to book another appointment with somebody else. They figure that, hey, I've already have committed to this company, to this med spa. As long as they don't completely mess this up, then you know what? I'll give them the first shot. If they're really bad, okay, I'll go back and do my search. But I don't want to set up 2-3 appointments with different med spas. I just want to do one. Hopefully they're okay and they can just get this done for me. So that's why speed to follow up is very important. Because most people, if they're looking for something, they're just going to go on Google and they're going to go down the list. Now, obviously, you're going to get some people that are going to be fine with doing appointments with different med spas, and they're going to make the decision of who they really want to go with. But that's how most people are doing their search, and that's how most people are acting. So when you do this, that's why the speed to follow up is so important. So if you look at these 3 mistakes and you fix this, then this is going to go a very long way in helping you to turn your Google ad campaign around so that it is successful. Now, if your med spa needs help, we'd love to talk to you about it, walk you through this, see if we can help you just take this off of your plate and make it successful for you so you can focus on building your business, working with your clients, working with your patients, and getting them great results. Now, there's a link below. Schedule a call with us. We'd love to help you fix this and really get your practice going and really get it on the right path so that you can focus on growth and scaling. So aside from that, take care and see you on the next one.